Good day, everyone. This is Justin, and I'm going to do a change of pace really quick. For the vast majority of the time, Red Stripe 118 is an anime-focused channel, but I'm switching gears to video games for this one special time, because there's something that really needs getting off my chest, and it even involves some of the things that I attended higher education to learn. It's about the new Super Smash Bros., released just last month for the 3DS, and which I got and started playing very recently. And I've got beef with it. Just so we're clear right off the bat, though, it's got nothing to do with the core gameplay. It's still very much in line with the Smash Bros. I've loved since the original on the 64 back in 1999. However, we need to talk about the menus. Now, I've been through college and grad school for computer science and finished them both, and within those 6 years picked up a special interest in human-computer interaction and user interfaces, meaning that I have now been cursed with the inability to ignore particularly good or, more often, notably bad examples of interface design. So during the hours upon hours that I've already sunk into Smash Bros. 3DS, its menus have been constantly bugging me. And upon further reflection, you know what? They're kind of shitty. Everything is organized so weirdly and counterintuitively, and the menus don't take proper advantage of the 3DS's features either. And I'm about to go into some depth to explain why I believe these things, and then propose some possible changes to address these issues, which might dramatically improve their clarity and convenience. So, here we are, on the title screen. So we press one of the buttons to get to the main menu, and here is what we're presented with. Actually, wait, let's zoom out a bit. There we go. So as we can see, the selection screen is on the top display, and the explanations are on the touch screen. Now, first and foremost, somebody please tell me, why is this not reversed? Why is the selection screen not located on the touch screen? Sure, you could say that it's to take advantage of the 3D effects, but then I'd counter-argue that it would look markedly better for the explanations graphics to be in full 3D rather than, ooh, the menus are popping out at me. And sure, you could also say that it's due to the top display's larger screen size, and that's actually a legitimate benefit, but I don't believe that's a benefit that outweighs the utility of the touchscreen for menu surfing. With the touchscreen, we could get to any option we wanted with a single stylus or finger press, and still have the D-pad and circle pad as an option. But because we don't have the touchscreen, any mode that isn't Smash will take more than one button press to get to. That is seriously missed potential. But ultimately, I can deal, and I'm pretty sure so can you, so let's move on and look at what we've got. There are actually a couple of things that I like about the menu screens. First, they look appealing and nice. It was wise building off the same sort of aesthetic from Brawl. Second, I am actually a huge fan of the status bar on the bottom of the touchscreen that shows the battery lifetime and username. It's legitimately useful, with important info that can be gleaned on demand pretty conveniently. I've looked to it plenty of times to guesstimate how much playtime I could get out of a session. But that's all the praise I can muster. Looking at this main menu, it commits two major sins. First, and so fundamentally important for a main menu, there is no option selection. No option selection. Again, no option selection. That is inexcusable. No player should have to go fishing through menu selection to find out where the hell the options are. And a side note, when the default controls for your game are so weird and counterintuitive that I and probably lots of other players try to change them to our liking, it would be nice to know that we could get to the options immediately. And the second major menu sin, a terrible label. I am talking about this one, games and more. More. What do you mean by more? And for that matter, what about games? Maybe there are a few people who are confused by what games means, and I'd be sympathetic for them, because isn't Super Smash Bros. The whole game? Plus, games is not very good at implying that it could be the place to find such little things as training mode and classic mode. Oh, also, let's go into games and more really quick, and whoa, look at that! There's the options selection. I'm so happy that Nintendo has just implied, whether they meant to or not, that they find options to be so inconsequential that it's classified as part of what more means. And the options being so tiny doesn't help matters either. Seriously though, no sarcasm, that is a needlessly inconvenient place to make players access your options, and I'm pretty sure there's got to be several players who couldn't find the options at first because of that. It also bugs me that they decided to put custom under games and more, because the whole making fighters out of your Miis in addition to customizing the existing roster of fighters seemed like a pretty momentous feature. Compounding the annoyance is that Smash Run, which makes the most extensive use of the customization features, is not paired with custom, instead being there all proud on the main menu. Personally, if I had things my way, Smash Run would be under games and more instead of being all on the main menu, because it is just as minigamey as everything in Stadium, and custom should then either be paired with Smash Run, or, my preference, it should take Smash Run's vacant space on the main menu instead. This sort of disorganization is rather prevalent through all of the menus. Really quickly, several more gripes about the menus. I think it would be more logical for online to be placed under Smash, aka the Play Now option, which gives options for solo or local competitive multiplayer, rather than having it on the main menu screen. And while we're in Smash actually, the rules selection is redundant and useless. Redundant because you can also access the rules from within the character selection screen, and useless because you can't press start to go straight from the rules to the character select screen like you could in every other version of Smash Bros., meaning that you'd have to press the B button once or twice and then choose either solo or group to apply those rules. So why bother changing the rules from outside character select? My recommendation would be to remove the rules selection and make the rules modification more prevalent in character select, where you can actually press start to then return to character select. The challenge selection in the main menu would be better placed under the vault, just like it was in Brawl, rather than the main menu. Trophy Rush, one of the minigame modes for Super Smash Bros., should not be hidden under Vault and then Trophies. It would be better placed under Games and More. No names under the character portraits and character select when said portraits are a cluttered mess? Not cool. Side note, this is the blandest looking Smash Bros. Character select screen, bar none. So yeah, there's a lot here to dislike. Everything is organizationally a mess. But I am not just a man with complaints. As I said before, I've got some suggestions for fixing some of this. And thus, I present to you a few paper prototypes of prospective Smash Bros. Menus that I mocked up in the span of half an hour. Note that these are incredibly rough drafts, meant only to show off potential ideas, and also that I am a terrible drawer. So first, here's the main menu. As noted by the title, this is what it could look like with a touchscreen. I even went to some pains to get the drawing dimensions to be nearly exact to the 3DS's screen dimensions, putting this piece of paper on top of the touchscreen and tracing out the borders. That way, it should be evident that the extra screen real estate of the top display is not needed. The menu would suffer little with some screen width taken away. The buttons drawn out would also all work nicely with the stylus, and even in this ultra-rough, bad drawing state, the buttons would also work reasonably well with my finger. And as for the different selections themselves, all of the things I've kept the same from the original Smash Bros. Are in red, and everything I changed or added is in blue. I kinda like the idea of a Play Now button in the main menu, so I kept Smash where it is, though it could use some being scaled down a bit. If you select that, you then get the choice to select either solo play, local multiplayer, which is what group was before, though that label's open to change, like maybe group multiplayer, and then on the bottom, online multiplayer. There are no rules on this screen, since that will be assumed to be dealt with once you've gotten to character selection. Back to the main menu, to complement Smash, you can also access training. I think training mode should be immediately accessible, especially for total newcomers who want to get their feet wet, but also for people like me, total veterans of the series we may be, who first went to training to try out some of the new characters. And to the right of training, completing the trifecta of core game content at the top row of the main menu, is Game Modes, which is what Games and More previously was. However, this will be much better organized, first giving you the option to choose either solo modes or local group modes, and if you were to choose solo for the sake of example, you'd be presented with this. Classic and All-Star modes still on the top, and also Stadium on the bottom right as per usual, but now this is also where you'd access Smash Run and Trophy Rush. This gets rid of that and more bullshit, because every selection in game modes is now in fact a game mode. Look at that. Informative descriptive labels. Note that I also made the shape of the Game Modes button look like a right-facing arrow as a subtle visual cue. We also have Custom now located on the main screen due to it being a pretty big addition to the Smash Bros. Franchise and the central hub for creating the Mii fighters. This seems like the kind of thing that should be readily accessible without many hoops to jump through. And now behold, an options menu on the main screen. It's also pretty sizable instead of being the puny little thing that it was before. Street Pass and Wii U are respectively weird and unique enough features that they'll stay on the main screen, thus finally leaving us with Vault now being on the main screen, which will contain all of the usual Vault features in addition to being the place to find the challenges, once again just like how Brawl was. And finally, all of these things are possible to fit while still retaining that awesome status bar on the bottom. I could go into much more detail about the rest of the menu screens, but really, this should already be proof enough that A, the Smash Bros. Menus could work on a touchscreen, B, that these menus could be arranged to be markedly more functional and thus more accessible, and C, that we could accomplish these things while still preserving the visual aesthetic of the menus. It's not a death-dealing blow to the game as a whole, because once again, it's fun as hell and I'm loving my time with it, but you could have done so much better to make the experience more convenient, Nintendo. And that ends my rant. I did all my prototype work with the most basic of HCI concepts in mind, and by ignoring essential parts of the process like proper write-ups of use case scenarios, or getting random outside gamers to, test the menu designs. So it would be interesting to see something like a group of students or outside professionals applying legitimate, no shortcuts HCI methodology to come up with a better Smash Bros. Menu. But that would be the topic for another video or project. So, thank you for watching and listening. This is Justin, now signing off.